Oy vey. Hi everyone. We're here for a recap of EA's press conference, aka probably the most boring press conference I've ever seen at any E3 as long as I've been living.
But first, even though we're in Pittsburgh, let's take this all the way over to Paige, who just happens to be on the other side of the room. How's it going over there, Paige?
It's going pretty well here.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're going to turn right back to you in just a second.
What even was that? Like, that was so pointless.
It's like, you know how they can't put out a game and its fullness, they can't even do a conference.
They can't even get a full conference room.
That's the point where they were like, let's do another quick look at one of our biggest announcements, but let's show the exact same trailer that we just showed you 5 minutes ago.
Why?
No.
That was such a waste of money. Like, oh, man. All right, so I'm Lehew.
I'm Eryn.
I'm Paige.
And we're just going to do a quick rundown of everything from EA's press conference. I'm just looking through social media right now. The consensus of the conference seems to be that it bored the living daylights out of everybody.
It was a group nap time.
I don't blame you guys for not joining us in that live tweeting.
That was awful. Like,
we tried.
I
zoned out multiple times.
Like EA, okay, EA, now admittedly, EA is usually the worst conference every year because they either announce their stuff beforehand or it just gets leaked because everyone's like, haha, EA. So.
Or they leak it themselves.
Yeah, in the case of this year, they leak it themselves. So, I mean, I tweeted out beforehand that this is what I expected to see. I expected to see Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, because we saw it this morning, if you were up. Mass Effect Andromeda, and sports games. And of the predictions I made, we only got one big surprise. There's only one true game that was announced today. And
the indie?
Yeah, which we'll get to, but if EA is a place where you announce the big games, and if you only announce one big game, like one game as a company, not a good sign.
Did they even announce a game,
Technically, yes.
Okay.
And it was probably
It was
probably my favorite moment of the... Wow. I do have a favorite moment.
Yeah, it was the only moment that all of us woke up.
That is very true.
It was pretty exciting, though.
We all zoned off on our phones and were, checking social media, and as soon as that happened, I know I sat up.
We were just like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's run through this quickly. I mean, first is Titanfall 2, which everyone knew was a thing. I mean, this game got leaked months ago, so this wasn't really a big surprise. But this was the first time we saw it in action. It looks good. I like the idea of a single player getting added to it. That's going to make it where you could play it much longer than the first Titanfall was, which you can now go buy at GameStop for, I'm not joking, $10.
Oh.
And I'm sure EA, after the last 2 years of learning with Titanfall and Star Wars Battlefront, they learned that they got to put single player campaigns in games. So they put one in Titanfall 2. They showed it off. That actually was more interesting to me than the multiplayer because it seems like there's an interesting story that you could build in that universe, especially with the whole idea of it's a mixture of Pacific Rim and other mech ideas and sci-fi. So I don't know. It looked okay to me.
There was another thing that I thought was kind of interesting since it was an Xbox exclusive at one point, and this time with Titanfall 2, they are including PlayStation 4 players in on the gameplay, which...
Yep, it's coming to PS4.
It's kind of interesting.
That's an October 28th release date. Looks good. I don't know. It's everything we're going to be talking about this press conference. I mean, for this company, it's hard to get excited about because there is still that stigma that they have to deal with of, oh, well, when it's released, we're only getting half a game, so why bother?
To continue on with the recording of this wonderful recap, you owe us $5.
But seriously.
Yeah, sorry.
Paige, you got anything on Titanfall 2?
Not really, no.
Fair enough. Okay, so next up was the barrage. And I literally mean the barrage of sports games.
Okay, I tweeted this out. I feel like watching the Stanley Cup Finals tonight, I'm going to see less sport coverage than EA put out today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least not as self-stroking. sports coverage because. So what they announced for Madden is that they were showing off pro Madden tournaments, which if you're showing that off to E3, you really think anyone's gonna care?
Also, this is a very bad message for actual refs involved in the National Football League, also players, thinking that they can get away with roughing the kicker a few times that I definitely saw in that trailer. Also, I saw some, helmet to helmet hitting. I also saw some below the waist. Seriously, these are 15-yard penalties, and they're actually advertising them as sports, Madden, get excited. I'm like, no, injuries.
Well, they were secretly showcasing their DLC in which you play the doctor that deals with all the CTE in the hospitals.
Madden 17, physical therapist.
I mean, Gronk is on the cover, so.
Oh, that's sad.
So they barraged us with sports. They showed off Madden Pro tournaments. Apparently, there's going to be a pro league that EA is going to sponsor themselves and have a money prize for, in which the thought of EA giving away money, ha 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 ha. Yes, you can make your own joke. There's plenty to make.
Also, the fact that it sounded like the bro version of Pokemon, except you don't leave your house.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, I'm guessing you two got nothing to say on this. As they both shake their heads no.
Sports. That sums it.
Yeah, so that was Madden, and then they showed off FIFA 17, which is going to be made on the Frostbite engine. It looks pretty. I'll give it that. It looks pretty.
Now, here's my question. Why the dramatic movie feel and the whole story and it just... For FIFA?
Don't know.
Okay, I can kind of answer this. They're trying to compete with the NBA 2K franchise because the NBA 2K franchise has had Spike Lee writing their story mode the last 2 years.
Oh, that's why it was decent. Well, actually, more than decent. I mean...
Well, 15 was. This year's was kind of crap. Although, I think I screwed that up. I think 14 was the year it was good and 15 it was crap. One of the years it was good and the other years it was crap. But anywho... I think they're trying to compete with that, and they don't want to do it with Madden because Madden has such a market that they know that if they change anything, that market's going to get upset. So of course, why not do it with FIFA?
Okay.
I'm going to look up who wrote that story.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
I mean, it looks somewhat interesting. It's a good idea to tack that into a sports game because it adds a little more to people who don't play them every year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't need to spend 20 minutes of your conference on it. So, anything else from you guys? FIFA?
Still looking.
Is that a no page? Okay.
Wasn't even a soccer fan to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of am. I mean, I play PES more, but I don't know. I'm curious. Like I tweeted, I'll buy it when it's $20 instead of 10, like I do every year.
Yeah.
So next up was Mass Effect Andromeda, which a lot of people are excited for, and they barely showed us anything of.
Oh, I thought they were showing Titanfall again.
No.
I totally forgot they even showed that.
Oops.
Yeah, they hyped everyone up for it. They're like, here's Mass Effect Andromeda! And they showed us a cinematic, 2-minute trailer, and it was done.
All I remember is Milky Way, leaving the Milky Way, Andromeda, new.
Yeah. Frostbite engine. And once again, a game that does look pretty. I'll give it that. But we did not see enough to make an impact. I really did not see enough to make an impact on it. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that's coming in 2017.
Definitely saw somebody that looked like Imperator Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road in
That's
that
right.
trailer.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't make us pay for an ending this time.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, that was not fun. So next up was the EA charity program, which is probably one of the only good ideas that came from this whole thing, in which they're going to be having events in their games that will, if enough players play, EA is going to donate money. I think that's how it works. It's kind of confusing how they explained it.
It was a little confusing. I'm really in favor of all the charities that they were sponsoring.
Yeah, I was surprised.
However you word that. I was very very pleased to see that there were many charities that were aimed towards other companies getting money for games, also standing up for women's rights. Like, I just thought it was a very good collection of charities to be sponsoring.
Yeah. Paige?
I'm so sorry. I
No, you're
zoned out
good.
so much during this conference.
It's
Well,
okay.
that's why I keep going to you, because it is like, this is just to drive home the point that how boring this was.
I got like sidetracked just going through Twitter and
Mhm.
looking up at all the sarcastic comments, and then like I honestly came back for the indie game stuff. That's
Well,
when I like,
Right.
Let's get to that next. So EA announced the EA Originals program, which is EA trying to get more indie games out there to the public.
also Scandinavians.
Scared Scandinavians. So their idea is that with EA Originals, the studio is going to make all the profit from the game. I will see it when I'll believe it when I see it, knowing EA.
Mhm.
So, but they announced their first EA Original today, which is Fe. Fe. And it looks unique. I like the art style. I like how it looks.
Mhm.
The colors, the art style. With indie games, that's usually what gets me first, is how the style looks.
Yeah, because it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
It looked very smooth.
It did. It got a little junky, but I'm guessing it's
Yeah.
an alpha right now. So, and it's a small studio, so that should be expected. It's a game that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and I'm curious to see what other EA originals they're going to have.
I'm just happy that it's not sports.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it
not
was
a true original.
once again like a jump for EA to like go with something like that.
Right.
It's like when we all saw Unraveled last year, where everyone was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, they did call out Unraveled too, so.
Yeah. And we somewhat liked Unravel.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Could be more good stuff
Paige-
coming. Paige is
Paige
laughing. Paige is laughing because she's like, yeah, you got to play it.
I'm still bitter. That's actually what I thought about when I saw it. I was
Wait,
like,
I'm sorry, what exactly happened? Like, just very quick.
Paige got the PC version of Unraveled, and it
my
still
PC.
won't work.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Paige?
It bricked my PC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't brick my PS4.
Shut up.
So,
Oh, yeah, you did have to get a new computer after that.
No, it just.
Or I'm thinking of another time. Oh, no, that was with The Sims, I think.
yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, anyways.
So we got two more here. We got so they showed off. Yes, we are making a bunch of Star Wars games. Surprise, surprise. We have Star Wars Battlefront 2, which got leaked last month. They confirmed that it is real and that it's coming.
Will there be a single player? They didn't say that.
They've said that there will be.
Okay, well, I didn't hear it today.
Yeah, they didn't say it today, but they've said in press releases that there will be.
Okay, good.
We also got confirmed that Visceral and Respawn are each working on Star Wars games as well, where Visceral's is going to be a third-person adventure game, and Respawn is going to be, I'm going to guess, a third-person multiplayer-type game. So, didn't see any footage of each game, though.
Yeah,
surprise,
There's
surprise.
a lot of the background.
Yeah, it was just
Look at this person doing the art.
Yeah, it was a lot of people working in their offices, as EA does every year.
Let's throw in BB-8 because everyone loves BB-8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm excited for at least what Visceral's going to do. I felt so bad for those guys with Hardline because they're a great studio, and I've noticed EA has specifically screwed them the last couple of years. So I'm happy that they're getting the time, at least I think they're getting the time to work on this and make it pretty polished and pretty good. So I hope it turns out to be a good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing else for the Star Wars games?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to, what?
You seem like a little kid that just remembered something.
Kind of was one of the, yeah. I'll be honest, that kind of just happened now. I'm excited that Amy Hennig will be writing the Visceral
Yeah,
Star Wars games. One of the writers, well, the main writer behind Uncharted series, and I love those stories, and I'm excited, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what happens with that game.
So, last but not least, surprise, surprise, was Battlefield 1. still the dumbest title I've seen for a video game in a long time, but that's not the point.
No, it's technically very smart, okay?
Oh.
It's not just going back to World War One, but think about how successful the Xbox One was whenever they named the console that. Maybe they're paying tribute to that console. How dare you jump to... yeah, okay, you know what? I'm done. No.
So, they showed up Battlefield 1, and of course they were like, well, we're just going to show you a short trailer, but stick around for an hour of gameplay, and I'm curious to see how many people actually stuck around. After that boring press conference. Although, when the video ended, they did the weirdest trailer I've ever seen for like their hour-long gameplay. Like it was like it was made by
it went black, and then all of a sudden I just see a face.
It was made by some like a 13-year-old with severe ADD. Like.
Thanks, guys.
And it had way more life than the whole hour press conference did.
Yeah, you would not have expected that with how the
I kind of got excited. I was like, what is this? And where were you this entire hour of my life?
I only got excited because I was like, oh my god, there's life. Like
And Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth gonna be playing.
And Zac Efron, who's extremely jazzed to be playing on
yeah, okay.
So jazzed.
So EA cut to, this was probably one of the funnier parts of the press conference, they cut Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron, who looked like they wanted to kill their agents, having to sit there and be like, you guys excited to play Battlefield 1? And they're like,
so
totally.
Jazzed.
And then you hear Zac Efron go, so jazzed.
Yeah. Zac Efron's remembering, like, man, I know I did Dirty Grandpa, but this might be the worst thing I've ever done.
I wish I could go back to High School Musical right now.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone?
I'm just jazzed right now.
Bueller?
So jazzed.
Oh, alright, so I look at it like this. EA is the opening band of an act that nobody, like, they're the opening band for an act that everyone wants to see, but nobody wants to see the opener. So we got the opener out of the way. We just have to wait a couple hours, and then we got Bethesda, who, they've had some proposed leaks, but nothing has been confirmed yet. So everything we see there is going to be a surprise for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There is only one game that we know they are releasing, and that is Dishonored 2. Everything else tonight is probably going to be a surprise. So
Cool.
That sounds good.
That's going to be much better. I hope. I hope it's much better. I want Wolfenstein 2. I want Wolfenstein 2.
I don't blame you. Well, yeah, I'm excited too. So, if you guys want to live tweet these conferences with us, is what?
Nothing.
Okay, I thought you wanted to say something.
No,
and I felt
go
like, okay,
on.
never mind. So, if you guys want to live tweet these conferences with us, the hashtag is going to be Tanooki3, and instead of the I, it's going to be capital E3. So, hashtag.
You're so clever.
I try. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's TANOOKE3. And then whatever company will be doing their conference that time.
Which will be Bethesda later tonight. So.
We need to figure out how this Bethesda thing's going to be working out.
Yeah, that's right, because we got a Penguins game. Oh, God. We will.
Oh, no.
We got T-minus 4 hours to figure this out. So let's stop recording and let's start brainstorming.
Doesn't the puck
Alright.
drop at 8?
Yeah, bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Or as San Jose says, nap time.
Oh.